You are watching New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. We're about to get into a mailbag where we answer questions from subscribers. So go down in the comment section and hit that sub button. We only answer questions from subscribers. Help us get to 21,000 subs. We're about 100 away. If you love the Giants and you want to be a real one, or if you are a real one, go down right now. Hit that sub button. First question coming in from my guy, JD. What up, JD? Says, I think that coach needs to let DJ loose so we can keep our run game open. Do you think if the offense run passes 50-50, Giants would be a stronger team? I agree, JD. I think that the Giants need to be a more open attack, but at the end of the day, when I went back and watched, and I always do, when I go back and watch the All-22, it seems like when the Giants dial it up to throw a deep shot, Daniel Jones gets sacked. This offensive line is just struggling right now, specifically the interior off. Every position besides Andrew Thomas, even Andrew Thomas the past couple of games, has given up some sacks. But, I mean, go back to the play this weekend. Isaiah Hodgins runs a 15-yard stop and go, and before he gets out of this break on the double move, Daniel Jones is sacked. So I think it's tough because you're walking a line. You want to run a game plan that you think is suited best for your team. I think the Giants have decided that's running the football and quick, short passing game. But yes, JD, I would like to see a couple more shot plays because, look, explosive plays win you football games in the National Football League. Big boy Kev, my guy, says, I'm thinking with our cap space and the Bills and Cowboys signings was themselves, we can satisfy Odell's needs. So if we do, we can get him that target. So, yes, the Dallas Cowboys signed T.Y. Hilton. The Buffalo Bills signed Cole Beasley out of retirement. Makes it seem like there's only one team at the current moment left in the race for Odell Beckham Jr.'s, but the OBJ. The latest reports are that OBJ doesn't intend to sign with a team now until the offseason. And that makes me feel like no team actually offered him a contract. I don't think a lot of teams liked it when he said he doesn't feel the need to play in the regular season. I don't think a lot of teams liked it when he said he wasn't going to be able to play until mid-January. I don't think OBJ is ready to play, and that was never really a big decision for me. I always thought if he could play, it'd be very hopeful, and that was looking out, but he's going to be the best free agent wide receiver there is. I don't think there's a problem getting him in the building right now. Antonio G. says, who is your dream wide receiver the Giants could bring in the offseason? Dream wide receiver. The wide receiver free agency class is not that good. I don't think that Joe Shane is a guy that's going to give up a whole bunch of future assets to make a trade for a wide receiver. So I think that would come in the NFL draft. And according to Todd McShay, of ESPN, he just put out his most recent mock draft, and these were the top 5 receivers in his mock draft. Quentin Johnston out of TCU, big-bodied receiver, good after the catch. Jordan Addison was actually mocked to the Giants in McShay's mock draft. Jackson Smith and Jigba, who had an incredible season back in 2021 with Ohio State. Zay Flowers out of Boston College. And Jalen Hyatt, one of the most explosive players in college football, absolutely tore up the Alabama Crimson Tide. If the Giants are going to select a wide receiver in the first round, it's most likely going to be one of these guys. These are according to the NFL draft experts, the top 5 guys in the draft. So I'll ask this question. Should the Giants draft a wide receiver in round 1? Do you think that the first person they should pick in this draft is a wide receiver? If you do, type D for draft. Or if you don't think they should draft a wide receiver in round 1, type P for pass. I want you to sound off in the comments section right now. Shout out to Ricky. Should we pick a wide receiver O-lineman? Look, I lean towards wide receiver, but Ricky, I'm also keeping in mind that I think you need to draft the best player available with that pick. I think the biggest need for this team is wide receiver, interior offensive lineman, cornerback, inside linebacker. You could use another defensive tackle so Dexter Lawrence doesn't have to play so many snaps. I mean, if there's an awesome guard in round 1. If on the board, I'd take him. If there was an awesome wide receiver on the board in round 1, I'd take him. If there was an awesome corner on the board in round 1, I'd take him. Best player on the board, that's kind of where I'm leaning. If I had to pick a position, though, I would probably go with wide receiver. Cal Walker, Marshy, what are your top 3 keys to victory in Sunday night's game? We'll go through. I actually got 5 for you. How about a little 5-piece? We'll go quickly. Start fast. Come out of the gate hot. Make Washington come from behind. Make Taylor Heineke throw the ball and beat you with his arm. I also think you need to get Saquon Barkley going. Get him back on track. He's not on the injury report. Rumors are he's 100% once again. We need Barkley to be great this weekend. Force turnovers. Find a way. Kayvon Thibodeau. Azeez Ojulari. Can I get a strip sack? Julian Love. Can I get an interception? Find a way to make them turn the football over. We need Daniel Jones to step up. Daniel Jones has to play his best football game of his career. It's do or die. It's do or die. Daniel Jones plays great. Giants are going to win. If they don't, they won't. Just win. That's my final one. Just freaking win. If you're not first, you're last. Shout out to Ricky Bobby. Look, do what you got to do. Win the game. Just freaking win. Just be better than them by 1 point. I don't care about the rest. You can actually bet on the game with our proud sportsbook partner, BetUS. Go to chatsports.com/bet and use the promo code chat125, and they're going to hook you guys up with a 125% deposit bonus, and you can bet on the game this weekend. I'm taking the Giants money line. They're underdogs by 4.5 points, so you're going to get some good odds on that. Bet on the game with our proud sportsbook partner, BetUS. Go to chatsports.com/bet. Make sure you use that promo code so you can get a 125% deposit bonus. Ricky back with another one. Says, I honestly think Hodgins and Wan'Dale plus a pickup on our first draft pick will secure our wide receiver woes. I think that's definitely a good start, Ricky, but I don't want to stop there because I don't think Isaiah Hodgins is a top 4 wide receiver on a good football team. I think Hodgins is solid, but I don't want everyone to overrate Hodgins because he's the best of the bad wide receivers that we have. Someone's got to catch the football. Got to throw the ball to someone. I want Hodgins back next year, but I don't want us to get ourselves in this trap thinking that he's a starting receiver in the National Football League. I like Wan'Dale Robinson, but he's coming off an ACL injury. I think the Giants need to go out and add 2 legit wide receivers this offseason. I want them to come out of the draft taking a minimum of 2 wide receivers and then signing one to some significant money in free agency or making a trade, but I'm not going to move too many assets that hurt the future building of this roster. Fabian Wiley, my guy, says, when will they ever start? Never. No. Tyrod Taylor is not going to start this year unless Daniel Jones gets hurt. It's just not going to happen. Show me the money. If the Giants lose to the Commanders, can they still make the playoffs? Yes. They can still make the playoffs. These are currently the odds according to the New York Times playoff predictor. Before the game, as in right now, the Giants, according to them, have a 60% chance to make the playoffs. If they beat Washington, they have an 89% chance. And if they lose Washington, they have a 37% chance. After the Washington game, you're going to play Philly, you're going to play the Colts, and you're going to play the Vikings. If you lose to Washington, you got to win 2 of those 3 games. You win 2 more games, this team's going to make the playoffs. Finish 9-7-1. This team will make the playoffs. I'll ask you, though, will the Giants make the playoffs? Will they do it? Will they do it? What do you say? Y for yes, N for no. Let me know what you think. Steven, my guy, I hope the toe is better, brother. I know that it didn't work out for you so well. So how do you feel about Isaiah Hodgins? I think he's getting a good rhythm along with DJ at this point. I think for a guy that you picked up in mid-November off the waiver wire, he was a great addition, but he's not a game changer. He's not someone that I believe needs to be a starting receiver in the NFL. I think he's solid. I'd like him on the roster next year. I think he has some potential, but he's not a game changer, and that's what I want at the wide receiver spot. I like him. But I like him for what he is. I don't want us to overrate him, kind of like I said a little bit earlier. Let's not make him seem like he's this great wide receiver because he's the best of the bad group that we have. He's solid. Nothing special. Last question from the GOAT. Corinne says, the Commanders just activated Wentz. Yes, they did, and it's to be the backup. This is Taylor Heineke's team. Wentz is only going to play if Heineke gets hurt. I wish he'd play because he is much worse than Taylor Heineke. I appreciate everyone, as always, for making Giants Now a part of their day. If you made it this far in the video, type real one and give me a follow over on Twitter at @MarshallGreen_. Shoot me a follow. Show me some love. Give me a follow. Don't be weird. Just give me a follow at @MarshallGreen_.